Picture this. 29 days into your month and you're scraping quarters from your couch cushions just to buy groceries. Sound familiar? Here's the mind-bending reality that's going to shake up everything you think you know about money. Over 60% of Americans are trapped in this exact cycle, living paycheck to paycheck. Yet most of them are making the same 8 devastating money mistakes that keep them financially imprisoned. But here's what the wealthy don't want you to discover. There's actually a bulletproof system that transforms every single paycheck into a wealth-building machine. And I'm about to walk you through each step of this financial blueprint that could literally change your entire future. Now, before we dive in, here's something that's going to blow your mind. The average American household is drowning in over $100,000 of debt right now. But here's the crazy part. Most of this debt could be completely avoided by following what I'm about to show you. So if you're ready to break free from the paycheck to paycheck prison and start building real wealth, stay with me because we're about to crack the code on financial freedom. Let me start with the foundation that literally everything else builds upon. And this is where most people get it catastrophically wrong. You need to discover your survival number. Now, I'm not talking about some vague budgeting exercise that you'll abandon in 2 weeks. I'm talking about calculating the exact dollar amount you need to survive each month if everything hit the fan tomorrow. This isn't about living your dream life. This is about pure survival mode. Here's why this matters more than you realize. Your brain has this sneaky psychological trap called mental accounting, where you create imaginary categories for your money. You get a tax refund and suddenly it's bonus money that you can blow on whatever you want. But here's the brutal truth. That tax refund isn't bonus money. It's your own money that you overpaid to the government, and they're just returning it without interest. Every dollar is the same dollar, regardless of where it comes from. So here's your first mission. Open up a spreadsheet right now and list every single expense that would keep you alive and housed. Rent or mortgage, basic groceries, insurance, utilities, transportation. Strip away everything else. No streaming services, no dining out, no gym memberships, just pure survival expenses. For most people, this survival number should be under 50% of their total income. If it's higher, you're living beyond your means before you even start building wealth. Once you know your survival number, something magical happens in your brain. You realize exactly how much money you're burning on things that don't actually matter when push comes to shove. But knowing your survival number is just the beginning. Now we need to build your financial fortress. Imagine having 6 months of living expenses sitting in your bank account right now. Picture the confidence you'd feel knowing that if you lost your job tomorrow, got sick, or faced any emergency, you'd be completely fine. This isn't just about money, this is about buying yourself freedom from fear. Yet here's the shocking reality. Over 30% of Americans have zero emergency savings, and the average emergency fund is only $500. That barely covers a car repair, let alone a real crisis. Here's where the math gets interesting. Let's say your survival number is $3,000 per month. Your emergency fund target becomes $18,000. That might sound impossible right now, but here's the secret. You're not trying to save $18,000 next month. You're building this systematically, and every dollar you save is buying you more peace of mind and financial power. Think about compound disasters for a moment. You lose your job and can't pay rent, so you max out credit cards just to survive. Now, you're not just unemployed, you're also drowning in high-interest debt. Without an emergency fund, one crisis becomes a financial avalanche that can take years to recover from. But with 6 months of expenses saved, you transform from victim to someone who has options and time to make smart decisions. Now here's where most people make their biggest mistake. They think debt is just a normal part of life. 77% of American adults are in debt, and we've been brainwashed into thinking this is acceptable. But here's what they're not telling you. Every dollar you pay in interest is a dollar that's not working to build your wealth. High-interest debt is literally stealing your future. Let me paint you a picture that will change how you think about debt forever. Imagine you have $6,500 on a credit card with a 19.5% interest rate. If you only make minimum payments of $130 per month, here's the terrifying reality. It will take you 8 years to pay it off, and you'll pay over $6,000 in interest alone. That's nearly double what you originally borrowed. But here's the plot twist that changes everything. When you eliminate that debt payment, you suddenly have hundreds of extra dollars every month that you can redirect toward building wealth. This is why paying off high-interest debt isn't just about getting out of debt. It's about freeing up your most powerful wealth-building tool, which is your monthly income stream. There are 2 battle-tested strategies for debt elimination. The avalanche method focuses on the highest interest rates first, which mathematically saves you the most money. The snowball method targets the smallest balances first, which gives you psychological wins that build momentum. Choose whichever approach keeps you motivated, because the best debt payoff strategy is the one you'll actually stick with. Now here's where the real magic begins. And this is the part that separates people who stay middle class forever from those who build serious wealth. Most people think investing is complicated, risky, or only for rich people. But here's the mind-blowing truth. The stock market has averaged about 10% returns annually over the long term, which means your money doubles approximately every 10 years without you doing anything except letting it sit there. Let me show you numbers that will make your head spin. If you invest $6,000 per year from age 25 to 65, assuming that 10% average return, you'll end up with over $2.7 million. But if you just stuff that same money under your mattress, you'll have only $240,000. The difference is over $2.5 million. And that difference is the power of compound interest working for you instead of against you. Einstein supposedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, and here's why. In the early years, you're doing most of the work by contributing money. But in the later years, your money is doing most of the work by earning returns on previous returns. It's like planting a tree that grows slowly at first, but eventually becomes a massive wealth-generating machine. But here's where most people get paralyzed. They don't know which investment account to use first. So let me give you the exact priority order that maximizes your returns and minimizes your taxes. First, contribute enough to your 401k to get your full employer match. This is literally free money, and the average employer match is around 4 to 6% of your salary. If you're not getting your full match, you're essentially giving yourself a pay cut. Here's how the math works. Let's say you earn $90,000 per year, and your employer matches up to 3%. If you contribute $2,700, they'll give you another $2,700 for free. That's an instant 100% return on your investment before any market gains. Plus, your 401k contribution reduces your taxable income, so you'll pay less in taxes. After you've captured your full employer match, your next priority is a Roth IRA. Unlike your 401k where you get a tax deduction now but pay taxes later, a Roth IRA is the opposite. You pay taxes on the money now, but then all future growth is completely tax-free forever. This is incredibly powerful because you're essentially betting that you'll be in a higher tax bracket in retirement, which is exactly what you want if you're building serious wealth. The beauty of a Roth IRA is that you can withdraw your contributions at any time without penalty. So even though it's a retirement account, it gives you flexibility if you need access to your money. This makes it perfect for younger investors who are worried about locking up their money for decades. Once you've maxed out your tax-advantaged accounts, then you move to a regular taxable brokerage account. This doesn't have the tax benefits, but it gives you complete flexibility to access your money whenever you want. For most people, a simple strategy of investing in low-cost index funds that track the entire stock market is the way to go. You're not trying to pick individual stocks or time the market. You're just buying a small piece of the entire economy and letting capitalism work for you. Now here's the strategy that protects you from your own emotions and actually improves your returns at the same time. It's called dollar cost averaging, and it's the difference between amateur investors who panic and sell at the worst times, and wealthy investors who systematically build fortunes regardless of market conditions. Here's how it works. Instead of trying to invest a lump sum at the perfect time, you invest a fixed amount every month, no matter what the market is doing. When prices are high, your fixed investment buys fewer shares. When prices are low, that same investment buys more shares. Over time, this smooths out the volatility and often results in a lower average cost per share than if you tried to time the market. Let me give you a concrete example. Say you invest $300 every month in a stock that fluctuates wildly. In month 1, it's $10 per share, so you buy 30 shares. In month 2, it drops to $5 per share, so you buy 60 shares. In month 3, it bounces back to $20 per share, so you buy 15 shares. Your average price per share isn't the simple average of $10, $5, and $20. It's actually lower because you bought more shares when the price was cheap. This is why dollar cost averaging is so powerful. It turns market volatility from your enemy into your friend. While other people are panicking about market crashes, you're systematically buying more shares at discount prices. The key is to automate this process so you're not making emotional decisions based on daily market movements. But here's something most financial advice completely ignores, and it's actually more important than any investment strategy. You need to start buying back your time. Every hour you spend on tasks that someone else could do cheaper is an hour you're not spending on activities that could dramatically increase your income or improve your life quality. This is called opportunity cost, and wealthy people understand this concept intuitively. If you can make $90 in 3 hours working on a side business, but you can hire someone to clean your house for $30, the math is clear. You should hire the cleaner and spend those 3 hours working on your business. The net difference of $60 might seem small, but when you compound this thinking across all areas of your life, it adds up to massive time and money savings. Start by making a list of every task you hate doing, how long it takes you, and how much you could theoretically earn if you spent that time on income-generating activities instead. Then, research how much it would cost to outsource those tasks. You'll be surprised how many activities make financial sense to delegate, even if you're not wealthy yet. This mindset shift is crucial because time is your most valuable and non-renewable resource. Money can be earned, saved, and invested, but time can only be spent once. The goal is to systematically buy back more of your time so you can focus on the activities that have the highest impact on your wealth and happiness. Now here's the final step that transforms everything we've talked about from good intentions into an unstoppable wealth-building machine. You need to automate your entire financial system so it runs on autopilot without requiring willpower or daily decisions. Here's why this matters more than you realize. Decision fatigue is real. By the end of a long day, your brain has made thousands of small decisions, and your ability to make good choices is completely depleted. This is when you make impulsive purchases, skip saving money, or forget to invest. But when your finances are automated, none of these decisions require willpower. Set up your system like this. Your paycheck gets automatically deposited into your checking account. Then, automatic transfers immediately move money into your spending account for monthly expenses, your emergency fund until it's fully funded, and your investment accounts for wealth building. Your bills are paid automatically, your investments happen automatically, and you never have to think about whether you remembered to save money this month. The psychological impact of this automation is profound. Instead of constantly worrying about money management, you can focus your mental energy on increasing your income and enjoying your life. You know that your financial future is being handled systematically, which gives you confidence to take bigger risks in your career or business. Most people never build wealth because they rely on willpower and good intentions instead of systems and automation. But wealthy people understand that the best financial plan is the one that works without requiring you to be perfect every single day. Here's what I want you to understand as we wrap this up. These 8 steps aren't just about managing money better. They're about designing a life where money works for you instead of you working for money. When you master your financial baseline, build your emergency fund, eliminate high-interest debt, and automate your investing, you're not just building wealth. You're buying yourself freedom. The difference between people who stay financially stressed forever and those who achieve true financial independence isn't intelligence, luck, or even income level. It's having a systematic approach that works regardless of market conditions, personal emotions, or unexpected life events. Everything I've shown you today is that system. But here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. Knowing this information means nothing if you don't take action. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Every day you delay implementing these strategies is another day that compound interest could have been working in your favor instead of against you. Your future self is depending on the decisions you make today. The question isn't whether these strategies work, because the math is undeniable. The question is whether you'll implement them consistently enough to transform your financial future. And if you found this valuable, you'll definitely want to check out my next video. It might surprise you.